Thank you.
Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. With Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh resigning on Sunday, finalizing his replacement is the next big task for the BJP. Now, the party's central leadership may buy time for evolving a consensus for it. That's what the whispers in the political corridors say. Now, according to a statement from the Raj Bhavan in Imphal, Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla has asked N. Biren Singh to continue in office till alternative arrangements are made. Now, the sources are also saying that while putting in his papers, Singh had recommended that the assembly be kept in suspended animation, making it possible for the MLAs to reach a consensus on his replacement. However, there is no leader yet who enjoys the support of a majority of party MLAs, and the center may have to impose the president's rule. And so the big question now is that replacing N. Biren Singh with another option, how difficult or easy is that? How will N. Biren Singh take all these developments? And the third and the most important question is that will Biren Singh's removal from the CM post bring the much sought after peace in Manipur? Joining me now is Suhas Chakma, who's the director of the Rights and Risk Analysis Group. Thank you so much, Suhas, for joining. We have Samir Purkasta, senior editor with the Federal, who covers the entire Northeast for us. And I'll begin with Samir. Samir, what is the latest you are hearing as far as finding a replacement for N. Biren Singh is concerned? And of course, there was an assembly session which was supposed to start today where the opposition MLAs were thinking of bringing a no confidence motion. So, what is really happening on the Manipur front?
See, as you know, no confidence motion has not been naturally has not been moved because governor had yesterday suspended this session, which was to begin from today, and it was to be the budget session of the assembly. And the Congress was planning to bring a no confidence motion with the with the support from some dissident MLAs, and this BJP alliance partners like JDU and NPP. But since the House has not been set today, and the governor has suspended the session. In fact, he has kept it in abeyance, so to say. So it has not been held. And ever since Biren Singh resigned last night, the BJP's Northeast coordinator, Sambit Patra, who has rushed to Imphal yesterday itself, held series of meetings with both the camps, dissident groups, as well as the supporters of Biren Singh. But they have not yet been able to reach into a consensus as to who can replace Biren Singh. So now we are hearing that BJP central leadership has asked all the party MLAs to reach New Delhi, and they will have a sitting there on 12th of this month. And sources are saying even the Kuki MLAs, 7 BJP Kuki MLAs and the 3 MLAs who had earlier extended support to the BJP, they will also attend this meeting, which is likely to be held in New Delhi under the chairmanship of Mr. Amit Shah, Home Minister and senior BJP leader. So that is the, on the political side, that is the development which is going on, hectic parleys, and efforts are being, efforts are on to find a replacement for Biren Singh. But what has also raised eyebrows is the governor's decision of not actually putting the house in suspended animation after chief minister has resigned, and not imposing president rule. So he has merely suspended the assembly session, which was to be held from today. So this is also
But
seen
Samir, why do you
as.
think he did this? Why do you think he did this?
So, there are some speculation that this is also the last ditch attempt, probably for the from the BJP central leadership to, buy time for Biren Singh, and also for them to, work out some kind of patch up, so that a consensus leader can evolve. So basically,
From what you are
there.
saying, here, from what you are saying, does it look likely that BJP, I mean, after seeking his resignation, also is BJP trying to protect N. Biren Singh in some way or the other? If you are saying that they are trying to patch up and give him some kind of an exit door, so is Biren Singh still being protected by BJP despite having given his resignation?
Yes, they are trying to give him at least an honorable exit, because if motion was moved today, in all likelihood he would have been ousted through a Congress moved no confidence motion, which would have been a very embarrassing for both the BJP as well as for the Biren Singh government. So they are trying to find out some kind of honorable exit for him, even if he is not elected as a again elected as a leader of the party legislature party. He will have major say in the selection of the new leader. And so the party is giving him some elbow room to maneuver. So that is what we are hearing, but these are all speculation, as you know. So there are lots of ifs and buts going on.
Right. Right. Okay. So let me come to Suhas now. Suhas, how do you see the resignation of N. Biren Singh, and how does it unfold as far as the situation in Manipur is concerned? Do you, and especially there were reports that an armory was looted last evening, I believe. Samir, if I'm correct,
Yeah, last
uh,
night. Yeah.
last night, if an armory was looted, are we going to see some more violent days? We've already seen some 648 days of this violence unleashing over Manipur. But how do you see the situation unfolding in the coming days? You'll have to unmute. Suhas, you're muted. Yeah.
It was done from that side. What I was saying is that Biren Singh had run out of time. He didn't have the public support. He didn't have the support of the MLS. He has become a liability for his party, for his colleagues in the state legislative assembly, and he has become a bigger liability because of the fact that his audio tapes or alleged audio tapes, are now being examined by the government's forensic lab itself, which is CFSL. I think the as far as his resignation goes, I think this is the most significant development since the riots started, and he has been the most divisive figure, and not only he has been the most divisive figure, he has been continuing with the divisive politics for such a long period of time uh, that he was in a way creating more problems for the entire community, both the Metis and the cookies. So the moment he goes away, I think what we find or we will find is the situation will tone down. The political leaders from both sides, both the cookies and the Metis, may somehow be able to talk to each other. And the very fact that Samir had mentioned, even the BJP MLS coming, sorry, even the cookie MLS are coming for talks in Delhi, that's a significant development, considering that when they were here on the 30th of January, they were not meeting with each other, so the meeting took place separately. And here they would be meeting for the first time to elect a leader which is acceptable, to all the MLS. So I think it's a significant development. And I would say that I think uh, this will in a way lead to reconciliation process, simply because both the cookies as well as the Métis know that the position which they had taken, the hardened positions, they do not make any sense, and both sides cannot give any concession in terms of Métis cannot expect that they will get the scheduled tribe status because they know it very well. If they get the scheduled tribe status, Nagas also will join, Pangals will join, all other tribes will join. And Cookies also know it very well. The moment they talk about the Cookie separate administration, and many of the areas are still contested. In fact, Nagas still do not accept the districts which have been created by previous chief minister, not Biren Singh, Ibobi Singh. So those are contesting claims. Then you will have the Nagas at the point of time going against the Cookies because Greater Nagaland is still alive in the minds of the Nagas. So I think both sides, despite their rhetoric, publicly realize that they have to come together, they have to live together, and they were not able to do so because Biren Singh had been, unfortunately, in his speeches, have been very communal. And he did not allow the normalcy to settle down. And I think if he had spoken the language of reconciliation some time back, I think he would have, got more time. But I mean, if you have even looked at his last statement, including on the meetings of the with the Nagas on this dispute with respect to the creation of separate 16 district. I mean, it was extremely unfortunate, and you do not see any change in his tone, tenor, or nuances with respect to the Hill people. So I think his departure paves the way for creation of certain amount of normalcy because people actually from both sides they are tired of the violence and they are looking for a way out for normalcy to return to the state and so that they could live normal life, not necessarily return back to the previous situation, which is not going to take place. I mean, it's not going to take place in the sense that the Métis are not going to live in the hills or Cookies are not going to live in the valley. But gradually, I think people want, no violence should take place. And that is, I think, if a new chief minister comes or takes a hard law and order approach, I think it is still feasible. So I think, it's a very significant step for peace in Manipur. And hopefully, it will create the process for talks. Talks can continue for ages. Nagas have been talking since 25th January 1997, and it's for 28 years now they have been talking. So if the Nagas could talk for, 28 years without any major violence, let the talks between the Métis and the Cookies continue. You don't have to resort to violence. I think people want, at this point of time, a violent free Mizoram. Yeah, Manipur.
Right. But Samir, what is the latest you're hearing? Is it true that a lot of MLAs have been called in to Delhi and there is some meeting which is scheduled in the evening? What is the latest you're hearing?
Yeah, see, as I said, the MLAs have been summoned by the BJP central leadership, and first they will have separate meetings with two groups, and then on 12th most probably they are trying to have a joint sitting of all the MLAs. BJP Legislative Party MLAs as well as the parties which are supporting the BJP like JDU and NPP. And as you know, the NPP, which had earlier withdrew support from the Biren Singh government, today announced that they will back the next BJP government. So they have extended their support to the to the BJP government, which might form within a few days. So, those NPP MLAs will also have meeting in New Delhi, which is likely to be held on February 12th. But prior to that meeting, the BJP central leaderships are also separately trying to meet different groups to understand their mind, to convince them, to tone down the rebellion and to bring a consensus. Because, as you know, the situation has come to such a pass that if Biren Singh was not removed or was not asked to resign, then BJP might have suffered a vertical split in Manipur. So the rebel MLAs were determined to see a leadership change this time. And so
So, but, any probables, CM probables, or some front runners whose names are doing the round, or is it still a very difficult choice before the BJP to
no,
replace Biren?
yes, there are a few names which are doing the round. One is the Speaker of the Assembly, Satyabrata Singh. Another is from last night, even the BJP state president, Sarda Devi's name is floating. Sarda Devi is close to Biren. He is, so she might emerge as a consensus candidate. So her name is also doing the rounds. Then Panchayati Raj Minister, Mr. Mr. am not readily recollecting his name. So Panchayati Raj Minister, his name is there. Another senior minister in the outgoing BNP Biren Singh government, Biswajit's name is there. So there are few contenders, but even from the rebel groups, but there is no consensus as yet as to who will replace Biren Singh. And Biren Singh, if Biren Singh camp will definitely like to see one of their one of their choice get the coveted post. So that kind of maneuvering is on. So but given the current situation, the mood uh, in both the in both the rebel groups as well as the parties who were supporting the BJP, they want a leadership change, because after the Lok Sabha election results, there are some kind of realizations among among both the BJP and the BJP's alliance partners, that they are losing ground in Manipur. As you know, in the Lok Sabha parliamentary elections of 2024, BJP lost both the seats, outer Manipur as well as inner Manipur. And inner Manipur is the valley seats, where the majority voters are Meitei. So even they couldn't retain, BJP couldn't retain the seat in the Meitei dominated areas, which means the Biren Singh led government has lost support of even the Meiteis, which has been a major setback for the BJP, because in Manipur, Meitei community, which is largely a Hindu community, had been backing BJP for the last few years, since 2017, when first BJP-led government came to the power in the state. So but gradually that support base started eroding because of the failure of this government to check violence that erupted in May 2023. It's almost 2 years now, and there is no solution at sight. So the craving in Manipur is for peace. And if you see this time after Biren Singh, if you must be remembering in 2023, when Biren tried to resign, there a huge crowd gathered in front of his house, all his supporters, and they prevented him from going to Raj Bhavan to tender his resignation, and his resignation was towed down by one of the supporters. But this time there was no such protest, though last night Imphal was converted into a fortress, virtual fortress, with lot of army deployment in
Samir,
full scale.
how many people are still by the side of Biren Singh, or has he lost the support of most of the MLAs or all of the MLAs?
See, as you know, Manipur is a 60-member house, and so after the demise of one MLA, the effective strength of the house is 59 now. Out of that 59, 10 Kuki MLAs had even earlier they had conveyed their decision not to support Biren Singh government. Which had, and they were not attending the assembly session since since the May 2023 violence. So that effectively brought down the strength of the house to 49. So out of that 49, we last heard that the 19 this BJP and BJP alliance supporters plus 5 Congress MLAs and two this independent MLAs were were pushing for were were to support this no confidence motion had the Congress could move it in the House today. So basically, if you Biren still has few MLAs. We heard that 15 to 16 MLAs are still with him, but majority, he doesn't enjoy the majority support at this juncture. And this some of the alliance partner like NPP had decided to withdraw support if he continues. Then NP Naga People's Front, which had earlier stated that a news broke out that they will oppose the no confidence motion, but later on NPF clarified that they didn't take any such decision, which essentially mean they were also in the double mind whether to go with the Biren or to side with the dissident group. So so things became very difficult for Biren Singh, and unlike in the past when the people, at least a large section of Meithei community stood behind him, they were backing him. But this time, even he didn't get the community support. No, we didn't see any protest after he resigned last evening. So, though there were anticipation and deployment of army in crucial junction, crucial areas of important areas of Impal city, but but fortunately nothing of that sort happened. And even after the armory loot in Thowal district, there were armory loot from this thing India Reserve Battalion camp in Thowal. But interestingly, immediately after the armory loot, the local population erupted in protest against this kind of incident, which is in contrast to the people's reaction to armory loot earlier, because the immediately after the eruption of violence in 2023, we saw series of such kind of loots from police armories. But that time the people actually stood by those elements who went and looted who ran away with arms and ammunition, because people were of the view that these groups looted arms to protect the community against Kuki-Zo community. But this time the reaction was in sharp contrast to what we had witnessed earlier. So these are some of the indications that the mood has changed in Manipur, and people really want peace now, and they also want a leader who can build consensus, who can bring two varying groups to at least to a negotiating table, so that some sorts of solution can hammer out. So
True.
it is to be seen now how things unfold in
Right.
coming 2 days.
Right. But Suhas, if at all there is an option for the imposition of the president's rule, do you think that the president's rule will be very long? Because as long as the president's rule continues in Manipur, there'll be a lot of question marks on the center as well, that they cannot manage a state which has been their own government in the state. So if the president's rule is imposed, what is going to be the longevity of that president's rule according to you? Or will they? I don't know. How would you see that?
Well, I think Manipur is in for a long kind of political instability because
Okay.
Biren Singh knows that if he completely gives up, then he cannot make a comeback. So he's going to continue to challenge whichever person is in power, or he would like to put someone who whom you could consider as a proxy. So he's a powerful politician in the sense that he has acted quite.
No, so are you saying that despite the resignation, N. Biren Singh will not go into a political wilderness, but he will try and prop up a proxy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think at this point of time, he's trying to appoint someone who could be his proxy, and that's going to make it very, very difficult because he knows he could be in trouble because of the cases the way may turn out. At the end of the day, he is not out of woods as far as criminal prosecution is concerned, and more so because if he is found to have incited the violence. Imagine if the CFSL report comes up and says this is the voice of Chief Minister Biren Singh, then the court would be obliged, to order an investigation which may lead to prosecution, and he will be dumped by the BJP at that point of time. So his survival post resignation depends on his ability to keep someone who is very close to him. So he's making all the efforts to have the new chief minister someone who enjoys his confidence. So apart from that, because of the narrow margin which the uh, BJP enjoys, and they are going to make it very, very difficult to have a stable government. And despite the fact that it's a BJP government, we have to remember that a large section of the MLS have revolted in a manner to force the central leadership of the BJP to remove Biren Singh. If that's the case with respect to Biren Singh, because after all, he has been there for a long period of time, for the last 7 years, as the chief minister, and other guys have not been able to establish their authority within the party. So even a chief minister from the rival faction comes up, he or she is going to establish or going to struggle to establish the you could say the control over the party. So we are going to see lots of political instability. And that's why I think, the central government has taken time. At the end of the day, I think the central government is still hesitant to impose president's rule. Because the moment you impose president's rule, if anything goes wrong, or if you cannot improve the situation in Manipur, in that case, the responsibility will be with you. And I would say that the moment you declare president's rule in Manipur, at least the cookies will believe that they should get the autonomy. Because if you look at the narrative, you could see that cookies are being administered through the central security forces, and they are the one who have signed the suspended agreement of suspension of operations, which actually Manipur government opposes, but center still continues for its own reasons. So therefore, I think center is still not in a situation where they would like to have, you could say, the state and the president's rule, because it is not without implications. Because if you have the the governor ruling from governor's house, it would mean actually Home Minister Amit Shah is in charge, and that makes, I think, the resolution very difficult. And I would say at this stage, uh, well, the Home Ministry has never been interested to impose the president's rule. There is no reason for them to be interested at this stage. So they would possibly find out somebody, so that's why they have not declared the president's rule. They have not suspended the state assembly, just, in a way, declare the assembly session null and void so that they could have. But this cannot continue for a long period of time, because you are going to soon have the assembly sessions, because you have to approve the budget. If you do not approve the budget, then you have to, you will be difficult, because new financial year is very beginning very soon. So they do not have
Right.
the time except holding the assembly session as soon as possible.
Right. So, as you said, that these are politically unstable times for Manipur. What would you say, Samir, towards the end, and what can we really expect by evening or maybe by tomorrow? Will there be a name which can be zeroed down, or will it be kept for some later times when Prime Minister Modi returns from America?
See, BJP will have to take a decision very quickly, because otherwise, the state will plunge into another constitutional crisis, as Subhas pointed out. That budget session from today, the budget session was to begin, so they cannot keep the budget session on hold for long. Moreover, the mandatory gap between the two sessions should not be more than 6 months. And last assembly session of Manipur was held in August last year, mid August. So by mid February, they will have to have another sitting of the assembly. So if that doesn't happen, then assembly automatically goes into suspended animation. So I think BJP will like to avoid that kind of scenario, and will soon and will try to elect a new leader soon. So within a day or two, we can expect the party high command to take a call on the leadership issue. But the priority as of now is to how to salvage the BJP government in Manipur, because if the High Command had insisted on continuing with Biren, there would have been a split in the party. So now their main concern will be to save the BJP government there, and build and try to work out some kind of working solution between the two warring groups, so that whoever be the leader, but the next government is a BJP government in the state. So that is the priority as of now.
Right. So we'll have to wait and we'll have to wait and watch how things unfold in Manipur. But yes, a few MLAs have been called into Delhi, so let's wait and watch as to what happens in that meeting as well. We'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Suhas and Samir, for joining on the Federal. Thank you.
Thank you.